EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the east side of the Bay Bridge in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And off we go from Oakland. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here comes Nelson. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now Carr. And his first look is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down, Martin. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Carr. Lets it go for Nelson. This is intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. It put their defense in a really tough spot.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's got it complete to Burns. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Here's Ajayi. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run with Ajayi. Spins by. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got some real estate inside the 30. Wide open receiver complete. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. The This is Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. On play action, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That one goes for 24 yards. They go play action here on first down. And Cook has it left side. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down, here's Carr. They'll set up the screen to Lynch, powering forward. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Carr to throw again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr looking deep downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now a play fake. Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm BrianAkaDaddy. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes Nelson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Nelson's got it here right side. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First down, Raiders. The former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. Throwing on first down is Carr. They set up the screen to Lynch. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Brandon Graham in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. Looking deep for the foul. That's caught at the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run with Lynch. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And he's got his tight end, Cook, in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook from 3 yards out. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Here's a handoff to a Giant to begin the drive. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on second and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll try and throw for it here. And Jeffrey's got it. We don't see too many conversions on 4th and 10, but we just did there. A gain of 14 and a first down.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Back now in the East Bay. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Good for an Eagles 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Oh, spinning away. Oh, and now he rolls him over. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the red zone now, Wentz. He's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run with a J. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Foles. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for the Raiders. 63 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Carr now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he can get a good head of steam going.
This is Richard, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory, backed up, in good situation. It didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Carr, got to have this one. And that's complete to LaFleur. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. And Carr's going to keep it himself. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Derek Carr with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders are back within a score. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now they try the right side here. They find some open field here. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now a handoff looking right. Stays on his feet. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Throwing his wins. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. He's at the 50. The 30, the 20, 10. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the fourth. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Foles now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Jeffrey with a catch left side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz with time running out. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Elliott now to kick this one away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm BrianAkaDaddy. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.